Hi Doug, so we are here in, can you tell us a bit where we are at the moment?
Hi Umberto. Well, we're here at Muckenna in the heart of County Mayo, in a cutaway bog south of the iconic Loch Cullen.
That's amazing, and tell me, what are we doing here?
Well, we're here. This is the site of our first project at Green Restoration Ireland. We have a large area of bog in good condition, damaged bog, and some areas we want to restore to native woodland.
And so, just to give us a bit of background, why is it important to work on bogland? Like, this is something that people think is useless, and so what are we going to do here?
Well, actually, yeah, that's a common opinion with some people in Ireland, but actually, bogs are amazing places. And Ireland is home to a very large amount of what's left in the world, but a lot of it is damaged, like this, as you can see. The cutaway process has damaged the bog.
So, why do people do this type of trenches in bogs? Sure.
Just to provide an example, well, to explain why, this is basically a bog is about 95% water. So obviously in the past, peat was a very important fuel, and to access peat and have it sufficiently dry to use it as a fuel, you had to dry it out. And because the bogs are so wet, you had to create these ditches to drop the water table so that when you cut it and dried it out, you didn't have to wait years and years before you could use it. And that's a typical hand-cut piece of turf with a sleen, traditional way of harvesting turf. That's why.
And so by trying to save this bog and not to dry it out, can you tell us what is impact? We talk a lot about carbon and carbon emissions. So suppose what would be the point of doing that work?
So, bogs have been here for thousands of years. So you're looking at this ditch, it's maybe about 2 meters deep. That's several thousand years worth of peat deposition. So there's a huge amount of carbon, anything between 4 and 6,000 tons per hectare for every 2-3 meters of peat. So there's a huge amount of carbon stored here. It's also very important from the point of view of wildlife. So there's a lot, because there's a rare habitat, there's a lot of rare wildlife here. And we've actually seen it this weekend as we've been doing our surveys. We've heard the curlews critically endangered. We've seen large flocks of rare lapwing. We've annoyed golden plovers and snipe as we walked across the bog. So it's all here. It's all here.
That's great. And just for the people who hear us, I heard that on the bog, how does it reduce carbon emission with the dryness? Is it?
So, because the bogs, basically this is a worked out bog. People are more or less finished harvesting, maybe there's a little bit going on, they've more or less finished harvesting here. And now of course they've finished with it, they've just abandoned it. So, because of that, the water table is low. And the reason the bog accumulates carbon is because it's anoxic. It's waterlogged, there's no oxygen getting in to degrade the organic matter that would normally degrade. So, because the water table is low, oxygen does get in, it is degraded, and it's emitting many, many tons of carbon dioxide per hectare, anything between 5 and 25, 30 tons per hectare. So by re-wetting, by reversing the process of drainage and re-wetting it, we'll raise the water table again, we'll restore those anoxic conditions, and we will prevent that ongoing release of carbon dioxide, which will continue indefinitely until there's nothing left.
And so, can you tell us a bit the project, what sort of size and what sort of time frame of what's going to happen?
So there's about, we reckon there's about 25, 30 hectares of bogland, cutaway bog, that we're going to reverse this degradation process on. It takes, well, in terms of the process of reversing the drainage, we need to do a survey to determine how many dams we need. And then we will be putting those in, and very quickly the bog will start to re-wet. But in terms of the vegetation coming back of an intact, undamaged bog, that could take anything between 2 and 10 years.
Okay, so that seems like a project that needs to get started. So that's great, and I suppose you're gonna keep us updated on the follow-on from that regularly.
Absolutely, we'll give regular updates as to how we're going. And we want to get as many people involved as we can, locals and everybody else. So hopefully we'll have updates with
in the next while.
In the next while, yeah.
Thanks very much, Doug, for your time, and good luck on the project.
Thank you very much, Umberto.
Thank you.